There's a new proposal in Florida. It would affect those of you who are divorced or getting divorced. It's an alimony bill to eliminate what they call permanent alimony and create different types depending on how long you've been married and the financial situation that each spouse has. Supporters say there need to be limits to how long you pay your ex and the amount. And this is on both sides of the equation because men get alimony these days, as do women. So to talk about it is Sharon Johnson, an attorney with Sharon Johnson Law. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Thank you.
So there's this move for reform, and I was doing some homework this morning, and I saw an article in the Huffington Post. And they talk about this man who's 72 years old, bedridden with Alzheimer's, paying $2,100 a month in excess of $23,000 a year to a woman whom he divorced 20 years ago. And they're saying, you know what? This man has helped this woman get along, and these laws, these alimony laws, are outdated and need to be updated. Your opinion?
Well, Bruce, first of all, about that particular story, we don't have all the facts. And that story sounds very, very unusual, not something that you would come across in court every day. So there must be facts that we don't know about. But as to our alimony laws being updated, Florida is one of the states that is behind the times. And so I think some improvements will be welcomed.
All right, so one of the things that's on the table is they sit back and they say, okay, you guys were married 10 years, and we're going to base the alimony that you give your soon-to-be former ex-husband or ex-wife on the amount of years that you were married. So you married 10 years alimony? Is that the kind of equation they're looking at?
No, not at all. They're going to have three categories. They're going to have up to 7 years will be short-term, and we're talking about duration of the marriage. Up to 7 years short-term, 7 up to 20 moderate, and over 20 will be long-term. There will be no more permanent alimony.
If you look at the laws, do you get the impression that there are two issues here? The laws, as they're written right now, are too vague, and that some of the judges who administer the law have some outdated attitudes about how things should be?
Well, Bruce.
You're going to answer this one carefully, aren't you?
I am, very carefully. I have to be in court at 9:30. They do need revamping. And, you know, in child support, we have guidelines. You put in certain facts and figures, and you have a fairly strict guideline to go by with some discretion by the court. But alimony, the court has a great deal of discretion, and I think that's what these movements are looking for. They're looking for some clear guidelines, pardon me, so that some of the discretion is removed.
And because of that discretion or lack thereof, you do have, in some instances, people who are suffering and people who need some relief. I got a question from Maggie on Facebook this morning, and she wanted to know, okay, if this reform comes about and I'm already getting alimony, how might this affect it? Will things be grandfathered in, or could they go back and petition the court again?
I don't anticipate that it will be grandfathered in, no. But I think they are looking for some instances where things can be modified. I think they are looking at some relief.
So when all is said and done and the politicians are done doing their politicking, do you think we're going to find some of that reform that would put things on a more even keel and where they should be in 2012?
I think that we are absolutely going to see some reform. I don't know if all of this is going to come out of committee that's before them now, but I think clearly this move is very strong and we're going to see some changes.
Sharon, appreciate your perspective.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks very much for being here.